The good stuff is just a decision away and why we choose suffering. This is today's video. My name is Lydia Wilmsen. I'm a life and mindset coach for successful entrepreneurs and leaders. And on this channel, I talk all things business growth, mindset, manifestation, and conscious creation. Okay, so you probably have experienced one of the following things, you make a lot of money and all of a sudden all the bills start showing up. Or you think you have met the one, you have met your partner, and then, it's all the same again, what you experienced with the partners before. And you think you need a new partner, and then you experience the very same thing again. Or when it comes to achievements, like you think like, oh my God, I just need the next achievement to feel better, to finally feel like I've made it. Then you get this promotion or you get this new amazing client, and then a day later you just feel the very same again. So what is happening here? What's happening here? You have a threshold currently of how much love, how much achievement, how much joy, how much money you can basically hold and tolerate. And this comes from early childhood programming. The programming phase is 0 to 7, everything, like your mind is wide open, everything you hear, see, feel, smell is directly going in, like without any filter. So everything you experience in your childhood is becoming your identity. And now you have to deal with it. So depending on what was the threshold for love, what you experienced as love, what you experienced when it comes to money safety in your childhood is what makes you today. And what happens is when you want to experience something new, this is why I said all the good stuff is just a decision away. So for example, you say, I want more money, I want more amazing clients, I want better relationships, I want just to feel happy and fulfilled and not so stressed anymore. Like, what do I have to do, Lydia? What I tell my clients is the inner work. You go internal, you decide this desire that I have, I give myself permission to have it, and I become the person who has it. And what happens now when you make that decision, your old identity, your old programming is being aware of that. And it's like, oh my God, something is changing. We don't want that. We don't want to die. The old identity does not want to die. The old programming is going to fight for its life. So it's going to bring up all these things in your reality that seemingly go wrong. And what people then usually do is they falter. They go back to the old. It's like, okay, I'm just not meant for love. I'm just not meant for money. Economy is bad. No one makes money now. No one gets a job now. It's just how it's meant to be. It's like, we just don't come from money. Our family is just not wealthy. It's not meant for me. This is like what usually happens. They give in to circumstances. They give in to their old programming, and they go back under the threshold of what they can endure, of what they can accept, that what they feel safe with feeling. And what we have to do, if you want to accept or experience better things, you have to stay true. You have to stay loyal to that decision of, hey, I'm making more money now. Hey, I am having the most amazing relationships now. Instead of giving in to the old programming and going down under the threshold of what you felt safe with and comfortable with, you have to stay here and create a new identity on that level. So why do we choose suffering? It's just the old programming that's showing up that wants to bring you down to where you came from. It's almost like a sad experience, what people say, like, hey, I have changed so much. Like, I went to a different country, I changed so much. Then I came back to my old friends and they all pulled me down again because they knew the old me. They were comfortable with the old me. They wanted to bring me down to that level again. And this is what's happening inside as well. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your patterns don't want the new identity. They feel safe with the now known. They feel safe and comfortable with the known, with the old story. This is where they want to bring you back again. And the old story can be horrible, but it's still like for your body, for your human experiencing body, or the human body that is experiencing itself, It still feels safer to know what's happening, even though it's horrible, than to go out and experience something it doesn't know yet. It's very normal. It's a very normal like system reaction, so to say, in you, and you just have to be aware of that. You just have to be aware that your old identity could show up and start fighting you, that your old programming could start to show up and fighting you and wanting you to get back to zero, get back to your old threshold. So if you were a child who didn't experience a lot of love, and now, and this is, like, this is your way of being now. You just don't feel appreciated. You don't feel loved. Now you get to know a person who is so loving and so appreciative of you. And then it's like, no, I'm not into that person. Like, that person is not for me. This, like, I'm going to go for the bad person again, bringing you down to the old way of experiencing things instead of accepting love on a higher level, more love, more feeling safe, more feeling chosen, and so on. It has to bring you back to the old threshold. The same with happiness, Oh my God, I feel amazing. I feel so great. And then bam, 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 these things all start happening. And then it's like, oh my God, no. It's just safer to feel depressed. It's almost an addiction. Suffering is an addiction. It's addiction to your old identity. It's addiction to your old way of being. And you can physically feel that. When you start changing things, often with my clients, we start shifting things, then comes a time where the old way of being, the old you, starts fighting back. And it can fight back hard. And in these times, it's crucial that you stay in your new identity and you have amazing support to keep you there, and just accept the old you showing up and saying like, hey, whatever, it's cool. You can be there. However, I'm staying here. I'm staying in my new threshold. It's constant practice. It's constant up-leveling. And just the sheer understanding of what is happening. You're not doomed. You don't have to accept the suffering. You're wired to suffering. You're wired to the old threshold of not having money, love, happiness, acceptance, joy, good stuff happening. You're wired to that. And if you want to experience something else, you have to cut the wiring. You have to stay up here and constantly push your threshold up to energetically feel more aligned with that way of being instead of going back to the old. So just understanding that can help you dissociate from the old way, from the old programming, to understand this all is happening. I am staying in my new assumptions. I am staying in the assumption that it's easy and safe for me to make a lot of money, that it's easy and safe for me to be loved and seeing love everywhere. No, I'm not going back into the old story. No one loves me, no one chooses me. No, I'm staying here. And even if the fight gets very, very strong, no, I'm staying here. I'm almost like an observer. I'm observing what's happening there. I'm observing all the things that are showing up, all the bills that come in, like I had my highest month in business, 50K, and then bill, 40K out of my bank account. Like, what the heck? Whatever. I observe it. I know it's a transitional period. The old programming is giving up. The more I stay in the new programming, the more I stay in the new identity. It's proper identity work. And very often for people, it's so much easier to go back to the old identity, to just give in to suffering, experience the old again and again and again. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want that anymore, if you don't want the suffering anymore, you have to stay true to your new identity and do the proper identity shifting work. And this will change everything for you. Stay true to the new decision. Stay true to the decision, like stay loyal to the decision of the good stuff happening. I am going to have amazing things happen to me. So I hope that this understanding helps you to, or this idea or what I just shared with you helps you to understand what's happening. You're having a decision, bad stuff is happening. It wants to downregulate you back to the place where you came from, back to your old programming. That's all that's happening. There is no one out there who says you're not allowed to have that. No, you can have anything and everything you want. We just have to shift your identity to the person who is having instead of the person who's not having. If you want support with that, join the Mindset Tribe or the Expansion Mastermind. Mindset Tribe is a membership, a low-level membership, and the Expansion Mastermind is a high-level mastermind. So if you're really serious about shifting identities and you don't want to do it alone, you just want amazing peers, you want amazing people around you who do the work together, it's so much more fun and so much easier in my own experience. And of course, me as a coach and guide on your side. Check out the description. And if you have any questions, even about like one-to-one offerings, reach out to me via email and we can talk. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for liking, for subscribing, for commenting. I love every single comment. And if you have any questions, put them into the comments as well. And I might record a video just to answer your question. So much for today. Remember, don't give in to the fight. Don't go back to the old comfortable. Stay true to the new identity, and the new identity at some point will feel more comfortable than the old level of suffering. Increase your threshold, step for step, practice a new way of being, and at some point this will become easier than going back to the old. It's a process. That's all that is. Okay, until the next video.